took the initiative and we created our own virtual learning academy, we wanted it to do two things for us. Number one, we wanted it to get kids back, and we wanted it to stop them from going. We didn't get so many back, a few, but it did stop them from going. So our cost has leveled. I advocate for this strongly because if we don't, I'm afraid we don't offer a virtual environment. Those who want a virtual environment, who are here and who are happy, will just go. And instead of paying the cost of this, we're going to be paying, in our case, it's $10,000 roughly for a regular ed student and up to 20 for a special ed student. And that's a whole lot of money. The irony of this all is that every public school, traditional public school district in Commonwealth has children who leave its doors to go to a cyber environment, and every single one of them pays a different rate. So if we send kids to Commonwealth, and Holmesdale does, and Wallenbach does, they all pay different. And it's the funding formula for cyber charter schools is a disaster. One of the things in the proposed budget is to make equal level funding across the board at $6,000 cap for a regular education student. If that happened for us alone, if we got no new revenue and they simply changed that part of the legislation, it would mean a $450,000 difference for us in our budget.
Right, because I was going to say the charter schools are the same situation. They're getting more than what it costs an educated child in the charter schools. Sure.
So I mean, I'm not going to go on my soapbox about
So
how I feel about it.
that would kind of take away some of the added advantage. This wouldn't save us as much if that happened, but since that's probably not going to happen.
And I don't want to risk
I would risk
the
it.
exodus for.
Does Admintum does not coordinate with our curriculum, though, right?
Not like VLA,
Okay, that's
Okay, this
but it
second-
is, but it is core.
Okay, the second question
But
is,
standards on.
do they have live classes? Because that was a problem with VLN, is they didn't have the live
Depends
classes.
on what the classes are.
They have some, and
Yeah, there's some, not all.
good.
This also takes care of second language instruction, which really requires it. So, I don't know where the company is based. The consultant that we've worked with, though, lives in Cook County, so they're close. And we've gotten good service. We've used that method in the past for credit recovery and other things, and we've always been satisfied. The other piece that we get out of this, in addition to the whole BLA, is also some benchmarking and some remediation in the form of a program called Study Island. Study Island, what that does for us is allows us to remediate those kids who are struggling in algebra and biology, right? So if a high school student does not pass the Keystone on the first take, those programs can help them. And we're required to do that. We have to offer the remediation. So,
What's the dollar figure look like from last year with VLA?
I think 84 big difference.
Savings or?
Savings.
I think, were we up by 50, or over 50 last year? I think it was 54 or something, over, way over.
Do you know off the top of your head last year's VLA?
Last year, 14, 15 or 13, 14?
Well, it'd be 13, 14.
13, 14, I think it was way over 100.
Oh, was it, no, no.
Now, you have to consider in that cost differential, usage, right? And one of the things that where usage has gone down is second language, which not as much French as there was.
Right, it also included, we had fully supported a cyber program, which means that company provided the teachers of record. This past year, we went to our own teachers, we took that part of the agreement, and that saved a considerable amount of money as well. So this particular program will be less of a burden on our own teachers as more of the courses are effective than they are subjected to grading and time and things like that. So they also bundled it out, mentioned about other programs that we're providing.
Study Island and the benchmark.
That only is included in this cost as well.
I believe it's a cost that ultimately saves us money, because I do think we.
We have upwards of
significant number those
18
schools.
students, between 15 and 18 students in a full cyber program now. That is ours. So if we didn't have that, and assuming that they were to go to another cyber program, that would be considerable too. But had a lot better reviews, references for this program than the current one that we're in. So I'm confident that this will serve as well.
Number 26, recommending that the Board of Education approve a contract between Western Maine School District and Blackboard Connect Incorporated, cost of $2 a student, effective July 1, 2015 to June 30, 2016. Blackboard Connect is the service provider we use for our all-call system. So for weather emergencies in particular, I'm very conservative. I know I make a lot of calls in the winter time, but we use this for weather primarily. So the way our tech folks have it set up is I can call students and everybody gets a phone call. I can call you as a group, high school, middle school, Evergreen, Wilson, I have AM, PM, pre-K set up as all groups. And although the service, we've used Global Connect, we've used Connect Ed, we've used Blackboard. Blackboard has been, from my perspective, the best. None of them are perfect. And we have a lot of limitations with how phone calls go out, and it's not anybody's fault, it's infrastructure that we don't have in kind of rural Wayne County, so sometimes we get jammed up a little bit. But all in all, I get some really pretty good positive feedback from this, about parents getting phone calls. So we take advantage of this system, we take advantage of the media.
Besides the weather, if we have an emergency here, or something, then something else happens like that, you get on the horn and you reach out to the parents.
What is $2 per user mean?
Per student.
And that's for the whole year?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's about $4,000.
$4,000.
I believe $200 is money well spent to communicate. 27 is an agreement with St. Joseph Center to provide services to Western Wayne children at a rate of pay for access rate. So this is billable service that we can get reimbursed for at least partially. Services provided on an as-needed basis as determined by the child's IEP team for July 1, 15 through June 30th, 16. Let's see my notes here. We did this last year, we do it every year. We did not use St. Joseph's this past year, we don't have any children there now. This is as needed, and talking with Tanya, this is, Lawrence here, this is a very, very specialized care for children who really have a high level of need. So we always have the contract just in case we need the service. 28 is, we've done this for this past year since the retirement of one of our nurses. We contract with Carolina, who's a certified nurse practitioner, to provide medical review of IEP students who are eligible for access, confirming that services are needed. Her licensure allows her to sign the access paperwork so that we can bill. Now, we don't have presently anybody on staff who has that licensure. So we bring Carol in at $8 a document, and she does them for us. And that's no change in price from last year, and it's something that if we don't do it, we can't get reimbursed. Now, the reimbursement isn't as good as it was. We've been through that, but we still get significant dollars from this. So
She's a school nurse, someplace on Paul.
I believe she's at Long Paw Pack, and she does this for us, and she also does this for Wayne Islands.
And was she also corn?
I don't know.
She was cornered for a long time.
Okay, 29 is similar to 27. We're recommending the Board of Education approve an agreement between Western Maine and the United Cerebral Palsy, UCP, for the contract period April 27th, 2015 to June 30th, 2015, at the rate of $257 per quarter hour. We are utilizing this right now.
That's for a whole day at school, I'm sorry, that's usually, or is that half day?
It's part, it's for transition, so she works with them when she's looking to move on, special needs child. We're required to have a transition plan. UCP is helping us with that. 30 is special counsel recommending that the Board of Education approve Kingsbride Herman Thornton Powell as special counsel for the district at a rate of $170 per hour on an as-needed basis for 15-16. This is labor counsel, also special education counsel. And the dollar per hour rate is up $10. Yeah. It's been $160 for at least the past 4 years. And their letter to us this year indicated that they were charging $170. And again, it's labor, and we're negotiating right now in the Special Education Council, which, you know, in the past we've had to use extensively. Lately, we've been in good shape, but you know, this is, from my perspective, a very important piece. 31 is a solicitor. Recommending the Board of Education appoint Matthew Meir as a district solicitor, an annual retainer of $750 and hourly rate of $150 for the 15-16 school year. These rates are unchanged. And Matt has been our solicitor for quite a while, at least 5 years. And we use Mr. Meir for student hearings, some labor, definitely for real estate. 32 is recommending that the Board of Education adopt the proposed adjudication relating to student 13, 14, 15, thereby excluding the student from the Western School District in accordance with the terms thereof. And this is an administrative recommendation for expulsion. This student expulsion in particular, did go to hearing. Mrs. Furell, Mr. Lindau, thank you for being there. Our recommendation hasn't changed as a result of that hearing. And there was no waiver. It went to the hearing. 33. We received 3 quotes from, well, I have them here, you can look at them. 3 quotes relative to the water heater in the high school. So the situation, I explained this to you before. High school cafeteria obviously needs hot water to do what they need to do. We have a system that has a massive storage tank with 2 immersion elements. So those elements are right in the water, they heat the water up, and there you go. One of the elements is gone, it's bad. The other one is still working, so we can maintain at 50%. The element replacement cost alone, we had a quote, I have it in here, it was $11,889, right? So Mr. Robinson looked at replacing the whole entire system, which is electric, with a propane fired system. We have storage tank and either 1 or 2 heaters, depending on the quote, or 5, 5 heaters. That would do the exact same thing for the same money. So there are quotes in here. The one quote, we can look at these, you can look at them at your leisure, but my recommendation is there's a quote in there. It's not the lowest price. The quote is $12,156. There's another quote for about $11,500, but the differential, with the one quote, it's a little bit higher. We get 2 heaters and a storage tank. With the other one, we get 1 heater and a storage tank. So the heater sizes are different, but my concern is that if 1 heater goes down, we have redundancy with another one. So I would rather 2 in a tank than 1.
And they're propane, you said?
They're propane,
They're propane.
and we have the line already there. We need a bigger storage tank for propane.
Right.
That's not really an issue. All the infrastructure and the lines
Are there already?
so the cost of was LH Reed. Quotes from LJ Bogomil. The Element quote was from Wallace Electric. We have a quote from LH Reed and a quote from Hiller. The quote from LH Reed is the one, or rather from Hiller, is the one that has the two heaters in tank, 12, 126, 50. So to replace the Element and then have another go.
I'm surprised that to replace an element was that expensive.
I think.
I don't know what the element costs, but because I could
Probably absolutely custom made. That's
I
the way we're into it.
I asked it's original equipment.
Yeah, that's
It's 1972, I guess, whenever it was.
the newer version.
I think also.
That's usually when you hear a price like that. It's an obsolete item that has to be custom made, and we went through the same thing with the burners, in that discussion.
Right,
You know,
okay.
to replace item for item, and spend all kinds of money, you won't get the efficiency. of
You
the
still
old
won't
style.
get the efficiency.
So the number is 12,156,
12, 126,
120.
50.
What's the one, burner, standby, or is that what the second one backup, is the backup then? Or-
No, I think they both fire at the
Utilizing
same
both
time.
at the same
My
time?
interest is that if one goes,
Yeah,
you've got one.
you still got, one will still do the job. So,
It'll
so
do
we'll have
it
two,
well enough.
less wear and tear, and then for like $1,000 more.
Yeah, no, about 700. The other one was 11,565.
And the vendor,
Don Hiller, Plumbing and Heating.
What kind of a warranty that they give with those guys?
Good question. I don't know. I can find out for you. I will. And the brand name on the heaters is Navian. And both, the quotes that were close in price to each other from Reed and from Hiller were Navian heaters. The quote from LJ Bogomil was Rude. 34 personnel, the substitute list has 2 additions, Misty 2 as teacher assistant, and Christina Albright in special education. The hourly rates in B, per diem rates for 15-16 for substitutes, substitute aides, secretaries, hall monitor, and security are all unchanged. I want to point out number 4, hall monitor. I would like to change that language for Monday night. We don't have hall monitors. We haven't for years. Hall monitor position that we have, we've used since I've been here for Homewood Calvin High School. So it's a tutoring position. And the reason we set it at $85 per day is because we like to have a certified teacher in it, obviously. So we get a lot of bang for our buck with that.
So what are we gonna call the position?
Homewood Calvin. C is a child bearing leave. And then D goes right along with that. The long-term substitute position for occupational therapist at step 1M. The therapist is a master's level position, so the lowest we can go is 1M. Because she's a long-term substitute, it's 1M. The salary per contract is $48,633, pending adjustment and updated contract with applicable fringe benefits, effective for a 15-16 school year. This is the same person, we're recommending the same person who's worked with us for years, and that's Jennifer Barillo. We posted this, the posting closed today, actually, this afternoon. She's the only applicant. So these are not, they're not easy folks
not
to
everyday
find.
position.
This person that's taking the lead, is the third lead,
I don't know.
can't discuss it.
E, all these. Appointment of advisors and chairpersons for 15-16. Sue R. has pounded the proverbial pavement for a month now, making sure that she has as many as possible in mind for the fall. These are all of our extracurricular advisors, department chairs, and everything that makes this place so great. The F and G are fall, no, F is a present coach. Robert Amos as a track assistant. We had this on last month and we did have paperwork, so we held it back. This is not an extra coach, this is a replacement for a resignation. G are coaches for the fall. Next year.
Could you just step back for a moment? The 11th and 12th grade advisors, why is their salary so much more significant than the 9th and 10th? $40.
Yeah, there's a whole lot, I mean, it's contractual, but my assumption, because I really don't know the history, but my assumption is there's a whole lot more going on for classes as upperclassmen than there are for freshmen, so particularly for seniors. Prom in the 11th grade too. Mr. Butler? I mean, historically.
That's accurate, yeah.
Right.
That's how it's been explained to me.
Is there a reason why it's more significant? I mean, if
There's
400,
more responsibilities in those positions.
and is it just the
In those
prom,
years.
senior trip and things like that?
Prom, senior trip, class night, there's several more things that you're doing than the person who's doing that. It's been that way since
Yeah, it's
since
just,
before I've been there, since before I've been here, but that's
I
the
just want some
explanation.
clarity, because it is a significant increase over the other two. So, I just want to understand why.
That's my understanding.
Well, I appreciate
That's
it.
always been my understanding.
Okay. Thank you.
And these will change when the contract changes.
Well, in May.
Yeah, they may
negotiable.
not, but.
In G, we will surely have more next month. Although this is a pretty comprehensive list, but there are still some coaches out there who we are ready to recommend, but we don't have all the stuff they need to get on this list yet, so it's coming
Is ultimate frisbee for the year, or are there 2 sessions of that
for the year.
for the year?
For the year.
We just approved that last month.
No, we did, you're not wrong, but what we did was we prorated another coach.
That's replacing
Because
them.
the coach who's we named is not able to do it right now. We don't want to use
Current
another
year,
coach.
ending 14.
Current year, 14.
Alright.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
So essentially, we split the salary between 2 people for this year. H is mentors. I know we've talked about this in the past, but this is part of our contract. We